Trust This Robot here, and we have AI in the news for November 2nd through November 8th. So this week was pretty filled with election stuff, so there's not too much in the news about AI. But speaking of elections, we're going to talk about unanimous AI and their swarm intelligence that they use to predict the election. So it looks like they predicted accurately. They predicted back in September, 45 days before the election, that the election would go to Biden. I went through all of the states that were battleground states, and it looks like they got all of the ones correct that they predicted that were projected to go towards Biden. They also projected that if Trump loses, they forecasted 94% odds that he would claim fraud. And they also projected that with 82% odds that he would refuse to concede 2 weeks after the vote is certified, which we still have time to see if that happens. So regardless of how you feel about the election or the results, this company is interesting. They've predicted a lot of other events as well, and they've been pretty accurate. So I'll put a link below if you want to check them out. Here is one that is a new robot that Disney created. They created it to have realistic blinking and movements. So I'll put a link below if you want to check out this video. Let's see, I'll just do a tiny little clip.
And saccades to create increasingly complex and lifelike behaviors.
Yeah, so you can kind of get a little sense of it there, but the blinking is pretty realistic, which doesn't surprise me because they have tons of animatronic robots at Disneyland and stuff. So they have a lot of people with the skill set working for them. So here is a company portal that is making it to where you can have a hologram in your home for just $60,000 if you would like. It sounds like a few different companies like malls and retailers are investing in this technology. I have hologram mail as a domain, hologrammail.com, if you want to buy it. Just reach out to me and let me know. I kind of saw this one coming, so I snatched up that domain. This is an article about an artist who has created robots to be able to mimic her movements. So she's making it to where it's not that the AI is doing the artwork for her, but she's working collaboratively with the robots and the AI. So every time she makes a brushstroke or a movement, it mimics that same movement behind her. There's a video down here that I will have a link to below that I suggest or highly recommend watching. It's really quite beautiful, but kind of long for this week. Now we have AI helping to develop plant-based milk. What's interesting about this is that they're using the AI to put together different types of ingredients that you wouldn't normally think of to put together to mimic the taste of milk. And I think that it would maybe be hard for humans to conceive of putting these together, but since the AI is able to pull out different elements of each flavor, and think of it logically as opposed to how it doesn't sound like it would be good together, it sounds like they're getting it pretty accurate. So they're putting together blends of pea protein, hickory root fiber, pineapple juice, coconut oil, sunflower oil, and cabbage juice, and apparently it tastes just like milk. So if you want to try it out yourself, they have it at Whole Foods. I thought that one was interesting. So it sounds like, or not sounds like, this article says individual X stole $1 billion in crypto from the Silk Road and US officials have seized it. What I think is interesting about this is that crypto is an international currency. So if the US seizes it, who gets to keep it or where does it go? You know, if it's dollars, it's the US. If it's the yuan, it's China. But this is international. So that's an interesting question. And circling back around to the election, the AP did all of their election reporting on the blockchain using EOS and Ethereum. which I think is highlighting the direction that things will go in the future. If they had done the election on the blockchain this time, using maybe like an app that's based on the blockchain, every single vote would have been counted immediately. It would have been irreversible and totally tracked, and we would have known the results immediately, and they would have been fail-proof. So really, they probably should have just gone in that direction. But that is all I have for you this week. It's a quick week since this week was all about elections. I look forward to talking with you again next week.